Hi everybody, it's Miss Taylor and I am going to do a quick introduction lesson on clocks. There are two different types of clocks that you'll see. One is more common and we're going to talk about what those clocks have on them and how to tell the difference so that later on this week when you are telling time, you will know what clock you're looking at. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you all. And I'm going to make this into a full screen from the current slide. Okay, so this first clock, and I'm going to move myself here, is an analog clock. Okay, so an analog clock is like what you see in your classroom. And there are a lot of really important parts of an analog clock. So the first thing that you might notice is the big numbers. So it starts at 12 at the top and then goes in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then you would be back at 12. And then in between each number, you see little ticks. You'll learn more about that when you get to second grade and third grade. What I really want to talk to you about is the hands on the clock. Not hands like on your arms, but hands on the clock are these black lines here. And they look like lines because this clock isn't moving, but really these hands are constantly moving around the clock. The hour hand goes slowly around the clock, and this minute hand over here goes a little bit faster. And some analog clocks also have second hands, and those go very fast and are usually very skinny. So I want to start talking about this hour hand. So what do you notice about the difference between the hour hand and the minute hand? You should notice that the hour hand is a little bit shorter than the minute hand. On some analog clocks, the hour hand is also a little bit fatter than the minute hand. On this one, they look the same, but it's still shorter. Then you also see the long minute hand. I like to remember the difference. Hour is a shorter word, so the hour hand is a shorter hand. Minute is a long word. The minute hand is longer. So that's the first type of clock. This is what you'll mostly be seeing when you're learning about telling time is the analog clock. But there is another type of clock, and that is called a digital clock. And the digital clock is what you'll probably see more of in your house or around town or in your car. Digital clocks are on cable boxes, are on radios in our car, are on our stove probably or our microwave in our kitchen, and it's much easier to tell time on a digital clock, but it's important to know both because you might not have a digital clock. And on the digital clock you have your hour here, so we would say this is in the 12 o'clock hour, and then you have a little colon or two dots, and that separates the hour from the minute. So in this time we are in the 12th hour and we have passed 30 minutes into that hour. I'm not going to talk much about how to tell time in this video. You'll be learning about that later, but I want you to know the difference between analog with all the numbers where you have to tell your own time and you have the two hands, and digital where the numbers are already there, the time is very easy to read, and you have this colon. Okay, so remember analog with the hands, digital with the numbers. And again, it's very important that you remember that the hour hand is short and the minute hand is long. If you need to go back to any part of this video during the week to remember the difference, make sure you do that. Good luck with time this week, guys. Have a great one.